G'day. Just having a coffee. Welcome back to another Artistry Ignited nature tour. Not so much a nature tour, this is another DIY project that I've had in mind for a while. As you can see, what we've got down here is an air pressure vessel. So basically what these do is the air flows in through an anti-return valve or a check valve, builds up pressure in the chamber, and then you've got a little control tap to allow that pressure to exit. I find these are very good at taking the strain off your air pump, and they just allow you to create more air pressure to power more tanks or ponds. So I thought I'd go on a budget. Instead of spending say 20 bucks for this poly piping or sprinkler riser and making one like that, I thought I'd try one out with this bottle that was just, it was about to go in the garbage. So anyway, what I've done, I've got the check valve, anti-return valve, sort of hot glue gunned on there. Bit of silicone line, which I've taken the countermeasure of hot gluing, and a barb fitting here just to connect it into the line outside. And the top, the cap, I've just hot glued an elbow fitting there, hot glued some silicone line tubing, and then the tap that goes on the top. And these you can get pretty cheap at your sort of local aquarium dealer or even online. I've got quite a collection of them here. And what we're going to do, what I like to do, is add a bit of matrix carbon. This carbon I find does an excellent job at keeping the water clean. Quite often I keep a pouch in here, but at the moment I'm using Purigen in here, and the Purigen is exhausting quite a lot of solids and rubbish out of there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try some matrix carbon just to see if it'll purify the air a bit too. Because when the air goes through here, any moisture in the air will get taken into the carbon, and the evaporation of that will all be filtered out. But also it may even filter the air, so we'll give it a go, because I've read online that some air purification systems do use carbon or charcoal. There's a few different types of chemicals, inorganic or organic chemicals, that you can use to filter air. And I figured, why not give my fish the cleanest possible air? Okay, so now that we've got the carbon in there, I think I might add a little bit more. Should be enough. Carbon will also add just a bit of a weight to the vessel for stability. Now that we've got that in there, we'll take this little unit outside and we'll give it a go. Got a little mate here hanging around. He's probably having a feed on all the bugs and the different types of micro-sized wildlife that hang around ponds and that. Oh, there he goes, he's just jumped down there. So just being the fact that we've got quite a lot of ponds here that use multiple air outlets, I just thought putting this pressure vessel on might just assist the strain on the pump, just to help it take the strain off. I've actually now put the Seachem matrix carbon just above the intake there, just so the air spreads out through the carbon a bit, and hopefully that'll help filter it out a little bit too. And I do have a bit of moisture in the bottle. Just when I drilled it, I rinsed out a little debris. So I'm thinking I'll put it over here, just in the airline here, just so I can put it on the table there like that. And then I can see it and monitor it for a bit until I find a new place for it. And so what we'll do, we'll just make a cut here, on the side here. And then we'll just grab that bit and join it on there, and then the other bit on the outtake. I've just got the air hooked up to it now. And we'll just open the valve and see how much pressure we've actually accumulated. As you can see, there's quite a lot of pressure there, which means that this vessel is working perfect. And this will help take a lot of strain off the air pump, which is located there, and it will add a bit more pressure to the outlets in the sponge filters and the ponds here. And as you can see, that's hooked up quite well. So I put that little terracotta stand under it. There's no leaks at all. Pressure's really good. I might get a better quality tap. These plastic taps tend to leak and they don't form a real good tight seal. I might take that tap off and just have the full pressure going out, because essentially the pressure vessel is acting as a pressure vessel. So I've taken the tap off. I'll put my thumb on there, you can hear no leaks coming out of the bottle, which is what you want. So I'll just put this back on the end here. There you have it. It's actually working better now. The tap was creating a restriction on the airflow, and I think it might have been leaking because these cheap taps tend to leak out the thread here because they're not sealed properly. And as you can see, all the airlift systems are working. And I just find having these pressure vessels takes the pressure off the main air pump. Because if you look in places like manufacturing industries, they have air compressors, and when you've got to run air in multiple spots, it's ideal to have pressure vessels running off your air compressor or your air pump. So this air pump here never gets hot, it runs quite well. Let's say Aqua One, or actually Pond One, which is part of Aqua One, 4000 O2 plus. So this pump does have a carbon air sponge filter in the back, which filters the air. But I just figured if I had the Seachem Matrix carbon in the pressure vessel here, it'll give these ponds some extra filtration. I actually think that looks all right. Please comment below what you think of this project and tell me if you've done something similar. I'd love to see it. Like, comment or subscribe. Really appreciate the support for this channel, as I'm still fairly new to this and I'm actually enjoying it quite a lot. This is Artistry Ignited. Tune in again soon.